All right, marriage maintenance 30-day challenge, day one. So what are we talking about? What are we challenging you to do? This is the premise, is that and things are always easier to maintain than they are to fix when they're broken. If you'll put the work in along the way, this will be better, particularly pertaining to our marriages. And Paul, in the book of Ephesians and several places across the New Testament, we see this picture of marriage that is so much more than just two people agreeing to do something, to be together, and just some legal action. I mean, we see this covenant relationship that happens in marriage that is unique to really any other relationship in our lives. And we'll talk over the next few days about all the things that this relationship illustrates. Man, it's crazy, but it's so good for us. No matter if you've been married for 40 days or 40 years, it's good for us to set aside some time to intentionally work on and focus in on our marriages. And so at Restoration Church, man, we want to encourage our people to do that. I want to encourage you guys to participate in this. And then I know there's going to be some guys, some families around different places, partners of ours that will jump in and do this with us. So yeah, we're talking about a 30-day challenge of maintenance. And so what we're looking at is, instead of you coming to me or to some other counselor and saying, our marriage is this, that, or the other, what we want to do is to put this right in your lap. And so this is just kind of will be some generic, kind of general marriage principles and some things that are good to work on and to focus on for 30 days at a time. And I think what will happen is that you'll come out the backside of this 30 days. If you commit to do this, you'll come out the backside of 30 days and your marriage will be healthier. And I'm doing this with you. Our staff is doing this. We're going to walk through this together, and we're going to post videos every day or two, videos and blog posts that will give you some things. So here's what we're looking at. Here's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to commit together with your spouse to work on your marriage together. So sometime tonight, tomorrow, you need to sit down and watch this video together. And then I'm going to ask you to turn off the video, to sit there face to face, and to commit to work on your marriage together for the next 30 days. So there's a few things that we're going to do that fit in this. What do I mean by work on your marriage for 30 days? So there's some things I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to challenge you to do daily. And then there's going to be some things I challenge you to do weekly. So I'm going to put out a couple of exercises or activity type things for you to do weekly. Those will come in the next couple of days. But right up front, on day one, I want you to commit to work on, to intentionally connect in three specific areas of intimacy. It's something that is unique to this marriage relationship. So first area that I want you to connect daily, I want you to commit to connect daily, is in spiritual intimacy. So often, we as married couples, we skip over this one, or it's easy to go on the back burner. And this area of intimacy really affects your marriage as much or more than any other area. So I want you to commit to, I'm going to challenge you to connect, to work on daily this spiritual intimacy. And this is what I mean, just some practical things. That might be where you start praying together every day. And as a way to connect spiritually in this spiritual area of life. And so that might be praying together, that might be reading the Bible together, that might be talking about something, it might be as a couple of coming together to set aside some time to fast. That might be studying something in the Bible together, but on a spiritual, particularly in the spiritual realm of life, I want you to connect. So we want to do that every day. Now, this shouldn't take, forever and a day, but it should take, 10 minutes to set aside in the morning or the evening or at lunch or whenever to connect spiritually. A second area that I want you to connect every day is emotionally, and this emotional intimacy. There should be some things in your life that you share with your spouse that you don't share with anybody else. That's what intimacy is. That you should share these things with your spouse. Now that might look like, sometimes that's just talking. It's just talking. It's talking and listening. That might be engaging in conversation, being engaged in the situation. That might be, depending on where you are, at this particular season in life, that might be to mourn together. That might be to celebrate together. That might be to be excited or whatever. But these things that connect us emotionally, there should be some intimacy between you and your spouse in that particular area. So if you connect spiritually and you connect emotionally, it will help. It'll be a good exercise for us to intentionally connect that way. A third area, and this is the third thing I want you to do daily, is to connect physically once a day or daily for 30 days. Now, husbands are getting fired up. I see it happening even in video. But this is what I mean. This is not just sex. It's not just a push for some crazy challenge. But this is a really important area in your marriage is to connect physically. Now that might be sex. That might be putting some extra emphasis on your sex life, and that's great. But that might be something else. That might be holding hands while you walk through the store. That might be an affectionate touch as you sit in church together. That might be a hug. Just an intimate embrace where you see each other. That might be to sit there at dinner or wherever you are with your arm around your spouse. It's this physical connection, this physical intimacy that happens only in this marriage relationship, in this unique covenant relationship that you have. And here's the goal. The goal is not just to create some 30-day thing. The goal is to help your marriage and mine to be healthy and vibrant and reflect God's love in the way that we love and serve each other. So you might be in a place in your marriage where you're rolling, man. You're doing great. And I would encourage you, maybe this marriage maintenance challenge for you will help you be even better. You might be at a place where you're ready to bail, and you're having a hard time. And for you, this might be a whole new set of things that you haven't done in a while. Or you just might be at a place where it's just kind of dull and mundane, and it's just your marriage is kind of an afterthought, and you're just busy, and life is crazy, and the kids are everywhere, and you work on a lot of things, and you're just doing fine. You're not thriving, but you're not getting a divorce. You're just kind of fine. I would encourage you, man, 30 days like this, a 30-day challenge to kind of refocus and re-up on some areas in our marriages is a really good thing. So wherever you are, I want to challenge you again. Sit down, watch this video with your spouse, look each other in the face, and say, look, I commit for the next 30 days to work on this intentionally and to pursue connecting with you spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And you can talk about that. And in the days to come, I want you to check back. In the days to come, tomorrow and the next, for the next 30 days, we're going to post videos and blog posts that give you things to do all the way through. There's going to be all sorts of things to do that will lead you to take an assessment of your marriage and to look at how do we hit reset on some things, and what do we mean? We're going to zoom into each of these areas: spiritual, emotional, and physical. We're going to talk about what does it look like for us to thrive going forward. How do we set some goals? We're going to talk about all those things over the next 30 days, and hopefully my job here, my role, hopefully is to spark conversation that happens in your life and in your marriage. I also want you to know, man, that I am available to you, and we've got several other people that are available to you. Sometimes you need someone to help kind of guide conversation. That's generally what marriage counseling is. It's not somebody that has all the answers. It's somebody that asks decent questions and then kind of backs out and lets you deal with them. If you're saying, man, I hear what you're saying, but I'd like to sit down. Dude, call me, shoot me an email. I'd love to sit down with you. But overall, man, I've been praying for our church. I will continue to pray for our church over this next month, that God would just use this emphasis to strengthen and to shore up some marriages in our congregation for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of the kingdom, that we would be able to be husbands and wives that reflects God's, that our marriages, that they reflect God's love and goodness and grace in such a way that, man, we love what we're part of. We love what we're doing. So I'm excited. I'm doing this. And for Megan and I will be walking through this with you. We'll share a little bit of that with you and kind of keep you going from there. But that's day one. See you tomorrow.